What is up, YouTube? I'm Adam Odell, Chief Investment Strategist of moneymarkets.com, and I'm joined by my research analyst, Matt Clark. And we are here for yet another episode of Ask Adam Anything. Please send in some questions for us. We can take questions in the comments here. We can take questions via email. You can ask me questions on a philosophical level about investing or trading. You can ask me questions on a micro tactical level, specific stocks. We have the Green Zone rating system, which we built from the ground up. We can rate any stock between 0 and 100 on 6 factors. So certainly send us some tickers and put that through the ringer. But here we are doing something a little bit different this week. I'm getting ready to launch a brand new strategy. I'm really excited about it. Matt knows a little bit about it, but we've kept it under wraps. So he doesn't know the full thing. I think he's got some questions and some curiosities about it. And we'd like to reveal a little bit to you guys today, so you can check out my presentation on that. So Matt, I'll let you take that away then.
Thanks. And again, Adam's right. If you do have any questions that you want to ask that you'd like to kind of get to our view on, whether it's Adam or myself or Charles Sizemore, do so. You can email those questions to feedback@moneyandmarkets.com. We'll flash that email address down below here and later on as well. But yeah, I think it's a good idea to kind of talk about this because, as you said, you've been working on this new service for quite a while now. I mean, it's not one of those things where it comes out like that, and it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of testing, a lot of refining. There's a lot of work that goes into it, and now we're finally ready to present this to the public. I've been made privy to some of the information and details about it, but not everything. So I have some questions, and I think it'll be good for our audience here to maybe get some answers to those questions. And the first question, really, in looking at this, in what you're doing. And this is a whole new strategy. If anyone's familiar with Adam's services that we have with Money and Markets, we've got Green Zone Fortunes, we've got Home Run Profits, we've got 10X as well. But this is something that is completely different. And it's one that capitalizes on one word that I like, that I think a lot of traders will take to heart, and that is simplicity. There's a lot of traders sometimes try to make investments difficult. They make it hard. They make it hard with convoluted charts, with convoluted signals, with different technical indicators. Anyone who has a subscription to a TradeStation or a Thomson Reuters Icon or a Bloomberg terminal knows that there are almost thousands of different indicators you can overlay onto a chart to determine whether it is a potential profitable trade, buy or sell. But what you've done here, from what I can tell, is you have made things so easy that anyone can do it. And I want you to kind of dive a little more into that simplicity.
Yeah, that's a great runway, Matt. I mean, financial markets are increasingly complex. And so common sense would tell you that you need a complex strategy to navigate and be profitable in those complex financial markets. And Wall Street wants you to believe that, but it's actually the complete opposite. I found over my long career that the simplest strategies can be the most effective. And more so, if everyday folks want to follow my advice, it has to be a simple strategy. Okay, I've developed plenty of strategies that could only be traded through a partnership, hedge fund type structure. I left the hedge fund world because I wanted to do some really innovative stuff with regular people, sharing simple strategies that can make them Wall Street type money from home. So simplicity is absolutely the name of the game. I'm a firm believer, simplicity is sublime. Keep it simple, stupid. Make things as simple as they can be, but no more simple than that. So I'm all about simplicity. This is literally the simplest trade I've ever come up with. We make the same trade every single week. It shows up every single week on Monday. We get into the trade on Monday afternoon, and we're out of the trade 48 hours later on Wednesday afternoon. You know what time my email is going to hit your inbox. All you have to do is follow my instructions. And it's literally the simplest trade I've ever seen. We had a lady in our office. We've been trading this live in our own accounts in our office, several folks. And one lady who's, basically said that she's a novice at this type of trade. She's never done it before. And within 2 days, she sent an email that said, "This is the easiest money I've ever made in my life." And so we took her from, I've never made this trade to easiest money I've ever made. And that to me is what I'm most proud of. It shows that it was simple enough for regular people. This is not day trading. You don't need a PhD in math. This is literally the simplest trade I've ever come up with.
And we've talked about this before. You and I have talked about it. We've talked about it on videos. We've written about it on moneymarkets.com. And that is that if you're going to be successful as an investor, whether you're a novice or whether you're intermediate or whether you're an expert, is you have to follow a system. There's got to be a system involved. And I guess without diving into too much information here, I kind of give me a 30,000 foot view of the system that you're utilizing here.
Yeah. So, I mean, let me explain, first of all, what a system is. Some people call it rules-based trading. Some people call it systematic trading. Some people call it algorithmic trading. This isn't anything complex. It's not a black box, but I'm looking for basically 3 or 4 unique criteria to all come in alignment at the same time. And when that happens, the software that I use to trigger trades sends me an alert and says, here's your opportunity. Here's where you need to look. And then I use my expertise to figure out exactly how to implement that. But basically that prevents any type of emotional or second guessing factors from creeping into the process, and it makes it very repeatable. Again, this is a repeatable trade that comes about every single Monday. And as long as I follow the rules I've set out, then we know that we're sticking to our knitting. But basically there's a seasonality factor with the stock market. And you see that on the months of the year, like, September is seasonally the worst month of the year. November and December are 2 of the best months, and January as well. So you see that on the monthly level, but you also see it on the day of the week level. Most people don't know this, but on average, stocks fall on Monday. So why would you, if you're basically looking for a short-term trade, you don't really want to be in stocks on Monday. We saw that recently this past week. There was that news out about the Chinese property company that may go belly up, and stocks were down on Monday. Now Reuters and Bloomberg will tell you that was the reason, and sure, it was the catalyst. But historically, seasonality shows that Mondays are a bad day for stocks. So we take advantage of that. We buy stocks that are down on Monday, and we buy them in the afternoon. So we're basically taking advantage of that weakness on Monday. And then get this, based on seasonality, Tuesday and Wednesday are the 2 best days of the week for stocks. So we're basically buying things that are down on Monday. We're waiting for that bounce back up on Tuesday and Wednesday. And then we take our profits on Wednesday afternoon when we get them. And then we move on to a different trade the following week. Again, it's very repeatable. It's very systematic. I have rules that I've set that I've tested, both back tested and live tested. Again, we've traded this for over 6 months with folks in our office. And so I'm super confident that anyone could follow this simple trade.
So we've got simplicity. We've got rules-based. It doesn't really, the full package doesn't really come together much better than that right there. And I think that and again, we don't want to get into too much detail in terms of the nuances of the service. But I would encourage that when we'll try to flash a link up here or down below, and maybe even in the comment section on how you can learn more about this service, because it's fantastic. You can see Adam's presentation. He lays it out step by step exactly how it works, what you do, when you do it, and it's all very easy. You don't have to be looking at your screen on a minute by minute basis. That's not required. You don't have to have your hand on the mouse button to click whenever to make the trade just instantaneously. It's just one of those things where if you follow the rules, if you follow the expertise, then you're in and you're out, and that's it. And, so to me, like I said, the biggest thing was simplicity, because I you look around and there's a lot of experts out there. There's a lot of people that build themselves as experts. And when you look at what their methodology is, it is just so convoluted. And that's a nice way of putting it. I mean, it's just technical indicator over technical indicator over technical indicator, the 5, 6, 7 indicators at once. And that's not even talking about fundamentals of a potential company. And it just becomes so overwhelming that, I think it's one of the main reasons why we see such an uptick of retail investors, because they're just going their own way. They're doing their own thing. They want to keep things simple. They want to do things. They want to make money. We all do. That's why we're here. That's what we do.
Retail investors, sorry to cut you off, Matt, but retail investors in 2020 realized that they don't have to play Wall Street's game. And exactly. That's what made them successful. Not necessarily going against Wall Street, although some of them did with the short sellers. But what retail traders realize is you got to play your game. You can't play Wall Street's game. You got to play your game. And that's what I've been doing for over 10 years. I've been working for the little guy, the regular folks like my mom and my dad who had to work hard to get a middle-class lifestyle, and that they just want to basically get ahead. Maybe they want to catch up on retirement savings, people that want to basically have some control over their destiny and basically make a trade that they can feel comfortable with. Again, this is a trade you can feel comfortable with because you know exactly when we're going to get into it. It's Monday at 2 p.m. You know exactly when we're going to get out of it. It's Wednesday at 2 p.m. There's no guesswork involved. All you have to wait for is for the instructions that I send on Monday afternoon with the specific instructions on which trade to make. And that's all you really have to do. And the other thing I want to mention is that there are a lot of skeptics in the group of people that I work with. When I kind of pitched this idea, I researched this. I figured out the strategy last year at the end of 2020. And so I pitched it to them. And the biggest pushback was, well, it's only 2 days. How much money can you really make in 2 days? So I said, well, let's trade it with our own money. Would you be willing to put your own money in your own account into these trades week after week after week? And let's do that for several months and see how much money we actually make. I don't know for sure, but let's try it out. And I think they were absolutely amazed. I mean, one person called it amazing. One person called it unreal. Another person called it not insignificant sums of money. Another person said it's fun to be able to put a couple $100s into a trade and watch it spit back out a couple $100s or several $100s, sometimes even thousands of dollars. But basically, the people that are helping me get this strategy out to as many people as possible, they'd be mad if I didn't kind of talk about our overall results. But basically, over a 6-month test period, we, using no compounding, no cumulative gains, anything like that, putting the same dollar amount into every single trade every Monday, they were able to rack up a track record of 663% gain. So plus 663% over the same time, the market did plus 13%. That's the S&P 500. So they're basically telling me we beat the market by 51 times. Again, that's making a simple trade. You're in on Monday, you're out on Wednesday. We had a complete novice on our team who had never made this type of trade before, and she ended up writing that it was the easiest money she's ever made. So I'm really confident that anyone can do this, no matter your level of skill or expertise or whatnot. So I would really hope that everybody can take a look at my presentation and see if this is right for you. And we'd love to have as many people on board as possible.
And I will say that another comment that we had whenever we were going through the testing was that it's really too bad that we have to release this to the public because we make so much money. So it's, I thought that was very telling that someone said, oh, now we have to release this to the masses. Yeah. But the great thing is that that's exactly what we're doing. We're releasing this to the masses so that you have the opportunity to make this kind of profit using this kind of simplicity. And again, it's not following Wall Street's rules. It's following your own rules. It's being very simple, very direct, very straight to the point, very systematic. And that is exactly one of the many things that Adam does very well. Adam, I don't have any other questions for you right now, but I will say that we will try to link your presentation here on YouTube. If anyone has any questions, whether it be about this particular thing we're talking about today or anything else regarding stocks or the market or economics or anything like that, please feel free to email us. You can email us at email addresses feedback@moneyandmarkets.com. You can also place a comment down below here on YouTube as well if you'd like, and we'll certainly encourage you to do that. We love to see feedback. We love to see what people have to say, whether good, bad, indifferent. Love to read it and love to respond to it. So Adam, that's all I have for you this week. Look forward to doing it again next week.
Sounds great, man. Thanks a lot.